Module 3. What is workplace violence? The Occupational Health and Safety Act defines workplace violence as the exercise of physical force by a person against a worker in a workplace that causes or could cause physical injury to the worker, or attempting to exercise physical force against a worker in a workplace that could cause physical injury to the worker, and or a statement or behavior that a worker could reasonably interpret as a threat to exercise physical force against the worker in a workplace that could cause physical injury to the worker. Some examples of workplace violence include verbally threatening to attack a worker, leaving threatening notes at or sending threatening emails to a workplace, shaking a fist in a worker's face, wielding a weapon at work, hitting or trying to hit a worker, throwing an object at a worker, sexual violence against a worker, and kicking an object the worker is standing on, such as a ladder. It's important to note that the definition of workplace violence is very broad. The list of previous examples was not an exhaustive list of examples of workplace violence. There are many more examples that could include acts that would constitute offenses under Canada's criminal code. Now, let's better understand what is considered workplace violence by answering two common questions. What if a worker is accidentally hurt? Is this workplace violence? Accidental situations, such as a worker tripping over an object and pushing a coworker as a result, are not meant to be included. Does the person need to intend to hurt the worker? For workplace violence to occur, a person must attempt to apply, or threaten to apply physical force against a worker. However, he or she does not need to have the capacity to appreciate that these actions could cause physical harm. For example, a person may have a medical condition that causes them to act out physically in response to a stimulus in their environment. This would still be considered workplace violence. This training is important because violence can affect all people in all jobs, especially for employees that handle cash, protect or secure valuables, transport people and goods, work in a mobile workplace, such as a vehicle, have public or community contact, work with unstable or volatile people, work alone or with just a few people, and work late nights or very early mornings. To prevent problematic behavior, before acting you should ask yourself the following questions. Would I participate in this behavior in front of my parents, spouse, or child? Would I engage in this behavior with a coworker of either sex? Would I make these remarks to a coworker verbally, by email, text, or other written communication? Would I like to have my behavior shared on social media? No. Answer to one or more of these questions may indicate that another employee may find your action or communication offensive and inconsistent with acceptable business behavior. Impact, not intent, is key. Domestic violence can spill over into the workplace, making it workplace violence. Although it is not required in the OHSA, workers should report to their employer/supervisor if they fear domestic violence may enter the workplace. Employers must take every reasonable precaution for the protection of the worker when they are aware, or ought reasonably to be aware, that domestic violence may occur in the workplace and that it would likely expose a worker to physical injury, including the targeted worker and/or coworkers. That concludes Module 3. Please proceed to Module 4.